Derek Walcott, who's a poet from Trinidad, he wrote a cycle of poems in the early 90s called Omerus, which is the Greek name for Homer, in which he transplanted the stories of the Iliad and the Odyssey to the world of the Caribbean and to the world where he's from. And the Odyssey is the second part of the epic. The Iliad tells the story of the 10 years of the Trojan War, and the Odyssey is the journey back home. It takes 10 years for the Greek general Odysseus to return back to his home. And so Walcott was very interested in this story, this idea of home. And in a world now where the diaspora of many cultures is spread throughout the world, a lot of us are on a quest for what is home. Is home the place of our genetic origins? Is home the place that we choose and identify? Is home the place of our new country as immigrants? And so this idea was very interesting to him and really inspirational in his poetry, and he won the Nobel Prize for Literature. And from that, the Royal Shakespeare Company in the United Kingdom commissioned Mr. Walcott to adapt the Odyssey portions of it for the stage. And what he's done is, it's funny because when I was first approached about doing it, I had these boyhood visions of the Odyssey, of the Cyclops and sirens, and I had a sort of romantic adventure kind of version of it. And so I went back to the Homer, and when I read Walcott's version, I was reminded about what a really profound story it is. It's a really emotional story. Some critics have said the Iliad is about contending with the masculine principle. It's about all the characters are men. It's about warring. It's about male society. And that the Odyssey is about the reconnection with the feminine. And it's interesting because in addition to Penelope, who is Odysseus' queen, who's steadfastly waiting for him to come home, the majority of the people he meets on his journeys home are women. After he blinds the Cyclops, he meets the sirens, which are half women, half fish, kind of like mermaids, Calypso, Circe, the witch who turns men into pigs, even Scylla and Charybdis, that are monsters of falling rocks and sucking waters like a whirlpool, are identified by Homer as female. So in a way, it's about a man who's lived his whole life as a man with all the male attributes intact, having to return to his feminine side, return to peace. And so it's a very rich philosophical story, as well as a great adventure, because it does have, it's like a road movie. And that's partly why we're sitting in a car here, in that it's an adventure of him going from place to place. In an effort to get home, he gets further from himself and meets all kinds of crazy adventures on the way.